Subway Surfers is easily the king of 3D endless runners. It outlived its predecessor Temple Run, and no other clone or ripoff has managed to beat it. So as the golden standard of this genre of mobile gaming, I'd like to find out if it is truly the best of the best, or if there's a hidden gem out there deserving of more attention. Let's find out as we rank every Subway Surfers game. If you're curious whether that means we'll be looking at every game in the Subway Surfers series, or every clone of Subway Surfers, well, good news. It's both! No clickbait today, people. We're ranking all 4 of these Subway Surfers games. Yes, there are 4. I was just as surprised as you are. And we'll also be looking at the games that attempted to steal a piece of the series' success. The rules to having a Subway Surfers clone seems to be that there are 3 lanes to run between, 90% of obstacles are literally just train cars, and the title must include run, rush, or dash in it. No exceptions. I tried to get a good mix of big name titles, random awful knockoffs still up on the App Store, and masterpieces like Flying Gorilla. Truly in a league of its own. If you can think of a franchise, there's a pretty likely chance they've attempted to make a game in this style. I'm sure there are some lost to time that I wasn't even able to find for this. But still, we get to play through some incredible titles such as Jumanji Epic Run, Minion Rush, Subway Princess Runner, Survival Run with Bear Grylls, Crash on the Run, Gummy Bear Run, Subway Cute Runner, Talking Tom Gold Run, Spider-Man Unlimited, Looney Tunes Dash, Garfield Rush, Red Ball Super Run, Spirit Run, Lara Croft Relic Run, Om-Nom Run, Sonic Dash, Agent P DoofenDash, Run Forrest Run, and Flying Gorilla. Of course, we'll take a break from these at some point to rank the Subway Surfers games too. Subway Surfers Match, Subway Surfers Tag, and Subway Surfers Blast. I'm sure you can already tell just how good those games are gonna be. Without further ado, let's find out which game is the best at surfing the subway, and which ones will very simply just ruin my day. And yours too. Of course, we gotta start our list with the golden standard. The entire goal today is to judge whether any of these games can compare or even top the biggest game in the genre. Subway Surfers is just fun. That's really all there is to it. If you somehow have never played this game or any like it before, your goal is to stay alive by moving between 3 lanes and jumping or ducking past obstacles. The game gets faster and more difficult as you go, with coins, collectibles, and power-ups keeping you going. You can shoot for high scores or try to complete challenges in each run. The world is so bright and colorful, it just makes you want to play it. My guess as to why this game is still around today is because of its consistent updates and events. Each event takes place in a new city with new aesthetics and characters to unlock. There are tons of characters you can try to collect, or some other cosmetics if you're so inclined. I've never been that crazy about the characters in this game, except for the original main cast. It definitely helps that the main character is named Jake. Just objectively a cool guy. I don't make the rules. I also love Tricky, your next character to unlock. Others like Fresh and King will most likely appear in the other games in the series too, but all the new ones kind of blend together for me personally. In my opinion, this game can be fun at its top speed, but it takes a very long time to get there. I had a lot of free time while serving jury duty last week, so I decided to see how long I could go. I filled up my phone storage from just 1 run, and not because it was impossible to die or anything, but because you can just watch an ad nearly every time you die. After an hour, it finally stopped offering me ads to watch to continue, so there must be a cutoff. But still, I think more than 1 chance to continue playing is probably too much. It made me not even care about dying anymore. I did discover this game has events though, and those are pretty cool. I love the Floors Lava Challenge they have here. Always a fun idea. And it also allows us to play on the classic Subway Surfers map whenever we want. Definitely prefer the original look over any update this game has ever received. Despite the negative aspects I've mentioned about Subway Surfers, it is a good game, and it's something really fun to just play every now and again without any hassle. I feel a little sorry for the people out there participating in the multiple daily battle passes. Actually, scratch that. I feel really sorry for them. But for most people, Subway Surfers is a game that will never die and will always be fun to play from time to time. Let's put it in A and see if any other games can even compare to it. I took one look at the rock raising his eyebrow at me, and I knew I had to check out Jumanji Epic Run. Great name, guys, but personally, I would have went with Epic Bacon Ball Run if I were you. Most branded Endless Runner games, including the ones on our list, have been taken down from the App Store. I think it's mostly just because brands' contracts end and the game is probably dead at that point anyway, so they just pull the plug. But Jumanji is still up. That's gotta mean this is a great game, right? Actually, yeah, it's not bad. It's probably as slow, if not more slow than Subway Surfers, but while I was playing, the obstacles definitely got harder and harder. The biggest addition here is different enemy types that you get to beat up while you run, which is pretty satisfying. There's also little bonuses like a waterfall, wall climbing, and even kart racing. The wall climbing sucks pretty hard, but the others are really great breaks from the typical gameplay style. I think these games really need stuff like this to stand apart from Subway Surfers, and it definitely helps that the style isn't terrible here. There's a couple of characters to unlock and different locations, although it's only visually different. I was pretty disappointed by that aspect. At least I can play as White Nebula, she's pretty hot. Anyways, it's very cartoony and basic, but it gets the job done. You surprised me, Jumanji Amazeballs Run, and for that you get a B tier. Let's get another good one out of the way, shall we? Minion Rush is definitely up there as one of the most popular games in the genre, mostly thanks to Minion Facebook memes and that one Gru meme I keep putting in my videos. You're welcome! I've played this game before and even ranked it in my mobile game series, so I don't plan to go too in depth here. This game is mostly mission based, a lot of your runs are less than a minute long and then you get kicked out. But the endless aspect is here too. You can still go for new high scores and epic minion mayhem you so dearly crave. I think this game looks really nice, and there are some really awesome locations in this one. There's a lot of maps too, not just the typical 2 or 3 most of these games have. I love the neighborhood level where you run through people's houses on occasion, it's awesome. I have not cared about the Despicable Me series for years now, but I gotta admit, this game is fun. It looks really great and has a ton of reasons to play it over the other games in the genre. For example, punching minions increases your multiplier. Very therapeutic, trust me. If I may be so bold, I think this is on par, if not better than Subway Surfers. They definitely both have their appeal. But Minion Rush is great, I'm glad it's still around. S tier. I'm sick of all this happy, positive, high-ranking bullcrap. If you don't give me a bad game right now, this video is over. There we go, thank you. With a name like Subway Princess Runner, the game is already giving me those good old knockoff vibes. It's a game that puts Subway in the title so a toddler or confused grandma will download the wrong game while looking for Subway Surfers. And clearly this has worked, what the hell? How does it have that many positive reviews? I could not imagine a more direct copy of Subway Surfers. Look at this, I can barely tell the difference. I am genuinely surprised this is illegal. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but this game is better than Subway Surfers! It's still very much a crappy ripoff, but all these games are showing me how basic Subway Surfers is. There's like 3 obstacles in that game. I played this princess one for 5 minutes and I was already in the sewers riding past alligators on completely unique panels. And with such exciting characters like Kelvin and Kaka and Turtlefuck and Vector from Despicable Me, how could you not want to play this game? I'm actually extremely pissed off this ended up being an alright game. I will not give it S, but unfortunately, it's gonna be an A tier. Is Bear Grylls even a celebrity name people recognize these days? It's crazy, this game is like an allegory for the guy attempting to stay relevant. He's running towards fame, but he's just not fast enough. Poor little dude. I played this game as a kid on my old Kindle Fire, which I used it to play today. In my head, this game looked really good, like semi-realistic even. So when it was, in reality, worse than a PS2 game, I was pretty disappointed. I kinda regret ruining the nostalgia for this game, honestly. The way the character runs is sadly really funny looking. This is pretty clearly based on Temple Run, not Subway Surfers, down to the motion control movement. Just like the Jumanji game, there are moments where you fly down a cliff or ride on some sort of vehicle. There's quite a few environments too, which sort of surprised me. You have no idea how excited I was as a kid for the concrete jungle location to get added. I am so sad to see it is still coming soon. I love how quickly this game becomes difficult. You run at top speed almost immediately. I think it's alright, but definitely deserves to be our first C tier. I'd like to give an honorable mention to Streaker Run, a game I found on my own Kindle. The premise is you get caught cheating with some guy's wife and he chases you down the street. I used to play this game at school, people. It's pretty basic Temple Run clone, but I just love the concept so much. You can straight up buy an uncensored mode and play as a girl for free, which is pretty girl boss, I must say. Anyways, this is not one on our list. I just wanted to share this old forgotten game with you all. If you've never watched all 2 of my Crash on the Run videos, then you are officially a fake fan. That's like one of my best series. It was actually my first Crash Bandicoot game, funny enough. But since then, I played and 100% of the Insane Trilogy and Crash 4. Yes, I even got the hardcore medals in that game. I'm a completionist and god gamer, thank you. So, now that I'm a Crash veteran, I should be able to accurately rank this spin-off. Even though I own the game, the servers have been taken down, so I can't actually replay it, sadly. From what I remember, the main game was not all that impressive. It had a mission system like the Minions one and a lot of really annoying currency stuff. Certainly didn't help that the creators of Candy Crush made it. The main standout was the boss fight, something we haven't seen in any of these games so far. There was a ton of iconic Crash bosses at this point, so I'm glad they made it such a big aspect of this game. The Crash gameplay style was already pretty close to this, so it doesn't feel like a crazy spin-off, but the way this game was handled really sucks, and it definitely doesn't stand out on our list. The graphics are really nice though, and it was a decently fun game. I'll place it as a very low A tier. You didn't have a childhood if you didn't grow up with the Gummy Bear song. The video has 3 billion views, that is insane. But I really wouldn't have expected this guy to be on our list today. When I decided to make this video, I wasn't really considering they'd be good games like the ones we've had so far. I really thought they'd all look like this. It's just so lifeless, it's so boring. The game doesn't even get fast, you can just play it forever and ever and never get any enjoyment out of it. I hate when he looks back at you like that. Don't look at me, freak! Also, there's not even any music playing, it's just dead silent. I thought music was the one thing Gummy Bear was known for. How is that song not playing at all times in this thing? I said stop looking at me, creep! I think that on its own would bump this up to a C. But man, it would be hard to make a more boring 3D endless runner than this. D tier. After the freaking Gummy Bear game, I need a break. Let's take the time now to make our little mini ranking of these Subway Surfers games. All 3 spin-offs came out within a year of each other, from July 2022 to April 2023. It's definitely worrying that they didn't make a single new entry to the series and then pushed out 3 back-to-back. It is not looking good, people. What was the first big jump that Subway Surfers needed to make a game out of? A match 3 game. Of course it freaking is. I will admit the animations and graphics here are pretty nice compared to the majority of match 3 games out there. But the gameplay? It is quite literally the exact same as some of the others I've tried for the channel. The Temple Run and this one are basically the same game. The only cool part they've added is completing these graffiti parts. It's a fun idea, I suppose. I sort of assumed he was writing his name Jake though. What the hell is Jay's? This match 3 spin-off manages to maintain this cartoony and bright feel of the original with some familiar faces through power-ups, but is otherwise nothing more than yet another pointless match 3 game. D tier, of course. I think Subway Surfers Tag might have come out before that match game actually. Oh well, it was a good introduction to these spin-offs. Our next one is an Apple Arcade exclusive, opting for a much different gameplay style. Rather than endless running, you have endless waves of enemies to defeat, along with boss fights against the guard. With a variety of spray paint themed weapons and power-ups, you try to survive for as long as you can and build high scores. I think it's pretty cool that they kept the endless nature of Subway Surfers and attempted a brand new gameplay style for the series. Our classic characters have returned too, which you gotta love to see. And it is pretty fun to play. I was excited to have unlocked the next area. I do think after just a couple of games, I'm satisfied though. There's no real reason I'd want to continue playing. I'd choose this a million times over the match 3 game, that's for sure. I really have to commend Subway Surfers for actually trying something new here. They're already a step ahead of Temple Run in that regard. I'd happily give this a B tier. Well, we have just one last game that came out last year. If you had to guess whether they tried something new or another bland mobile genre, what would you think? Yeah, of course they made Subway Surfers Blast! How did Blast become a mobile genre anyways? These companies need to stop following in Angry Birds' footsteps. Again, the presentation here is actually pretty nice. It looks a lot better than most Blast games out there. But it's the exact same as the Match 3 one, down to the way you upgrade your hangout rather than complete your graffiti. So many games do this now, even Plants vs. Zombies did it. So I truly cannot be bothered to care about it anymore. The game isn't fun! And it won't even let me name myself Stinky Street! It may be one of the better time wasting mobile games out there, and it's probably better than the Match 3 one, but it still deserves the D tier. Wait, what's this? A secret 5th Subway Surfers game? Subway Surfers 2? I can't believe it, I'm so excited. Dare I say, this is the best looking game we played so far. I can't believe this one is legal. They straight up stole the Subway Surfers characters. Look at her arms, that can't be healthy. Everything about this is bad. The graphics, the sound design, even the gameplay feels sloppy and unfinished. How? And the worst part is they force you to watch a full 30-second ad after every run. I have to admit, I am a little tempted to unlock all 3 characters just because how funny that would be, but no. We have finally found a game with no redeemable qualities. Absolutely D tier. Anyways, now that we've jokingly ranked a 5th Subway Surfers game, I literally just discovered that there really was a 5th Subway Surfers game. It was a Snapchat exclusive called Airtime. I would not doubt there are more because it was so dang hard to find info on. But basically it was a Tiny Wings clone with Paper Mario style graphics. Looks cute, a fun little time waster I suppose. I was definitely today years old when I found out Snapchat had freaking games, that's for sure. I'm just putting it in C tier so we can move on. Talking Tom has become a pretty massive franchise, and you know these games have done good because there are multiple Talking Tom Endless Runner games. That's crazy. I believe the first is Talking Tom Gold Run, and I really don't know what I was expecting here. On your first run, this game somehow has less features than the freaking Gummybear one. Thankfully, there's a tiny bit more to see and do after that. This skateboarding section alone is better than the entirety of that game. But it's the slowest one so far. How could you possibly die in this game? I eventually had to just kill myself because I was sick of playing it. This game might be one of the first to feature that upgrading your house thing we saw in the Subway Surfers spin-offs. Thanks a lot, Tom! You can play new maps and characters by building your house, so at the very least there is some incentive to playing this crap. The sad thing is, I totally played this game as a kid. What is wrong with me? The only positive I can say about it is the skateboard section is really fun, and the music has no business being this good. That's a C tier. Spider-Man Unlimited is probably the most beloved Endless Runner game I've ever seen. Despite the game not existing anymore, there are still fans of it. And there was even a revival made by people because the community loves it so much. Spider-Man was the first superhero I saw as a kid, and it's been my favorite ever since, so you know I play this game too. I had it on my account, and I really hoped it might still work. And it actually did! I did not expect it to. I am so excited to revisit this thing. The game has a full-on story. After being the Green Goblin in the tutorial, you meet with Nick Fury in a fully animated cutscene. From there you go level to level completing missions. It's still an endless game though. Once you complete a mission, the game lets you try to earn high score. Anyways, there are 3 things that make this game great. The gameplay combines all the great aspects of the games we've seen so far. Punching enemies from Jumanji, different maps from Minions, and an awesome art style from Subway Cute Run. Speaking of, every good Spider-Man game has loads of Spider-Men to unlock. The first one you get is the Secret Wars Black costume, which is so awesome. Would you believe me if I told you there were 427 characters you can unlock? That is an insane number, dude. From classic Spider-Man to straight up unique characters, you can pretty much play as any Spider-Man character you could ever dream of. I want to play as Peter Ham right now! And lastly, thanks to the mission structure and ongoing story, this game makes you want to keep playing. I have had zero drive to play any of these games longer than 5 minutes or so, but man, I am more than ready to play through the entirety of this game. There is an energy system unfortunately, so I can't. And also the motion controls don't seem to work anymore, so I'm definitely gonna get stuck at some point. But Spider-Man Unlimited is the best 3D Endless Runner game we've seen, and it's gotta go in S tier. Now this is more like it. A generic Looney Tunes themed one definitely fits more in line with the rest of this list. But wait a minute. Although this game got taken down so I can't play it myself, this game actually looks pretty fun. The environments look so varied and there's splitting paths you can take, exceeding the typical 3-lane gameplay. You can pretty much break through any obstacle on stage, which seems fun. And there's your classic characters and locations that make each level so much better. And yes, there were levels. It seems like it was very similar structure to the Spider-Man one. Again, I can't play it, but from what I've seen of this game, it looks fun. Let me know if you ever tried it and what you thought of it. I'm putting it in A tier. When I was making the list for my video, I thought to myself, what series has attempted every genre of game at this point? And the immediate character that came to mind was Garfield. I looked it up and yep, Garfield Rush was very much a thing. Maybe I should rank every Garfield game at some point. They'd all be terrible, but it would be pretty funny, I'm sure. Anyways, they did not even try with this one. I wouldn't be surprised to hear the creators of the Talking Tom one made both of these games. Look at not only the gameplay side by side, but the menus too. Regardless, it does not matter that this game features such classic characters like Normal in a dress, or any one of these terrible costumes. Bad game, C tier. Hold on, Red Ball has spin-offs? I clearly have a lot to learn about this franchise. I went through the App Store and found so many games like this one that I thought were guaranteed to be crap. But somehow, Red Ball Super Run is not bad. It's got this full cutscene at the beginning, which was already higher production value than I expected. And while the gameplay is extremely slow and generic, jumping on enemies' heads is pretty dang satisfying. There's a lot of unique scenarios, including a boss fight. And so far, this is the only game that doesn't have the slide feature. You can only jump, which definitely makes the game easier, but still not terrible. The characters look pretty strange, especially Red Ball himself. Okay, since when did Red Ball have a sexy girl character? Why am I attracted to Brown Ball? Okay, we need to move on right now, please. This game is fine, surprisingly not D tier. Still C. I wanted to get one of those classic Temple Run knockouts on our list too, and Spirit Run seemed like the most popular. It looks like it's taking after Temple Run 2 specifically, especially with the terrain. It plays nearly identically to that game, except you can transform into a wolf every once in a while. I genuinely can't tell what difference it makes to do that. You can discover different locations while running, which is cool. I made it to literal hell and the difficulty immediately spiked, but thankfully you can jump while falling somehow. Other than a few little fun moments and unique obstacles, I really can't imagine why you wouldn't just play Temple Run 2 over this. It's not unplayable, just inferior honestly. D tier. Dude, I'm super excited to try this Tomb Raider game. Let's go! Well, I'm glad to see this is working just as intended. Seriously, I laughed so hard when she just started running in plays like that. I don't even know why it didn't work the first time. I reloaded the game and it worked fine. This game is actually pretty cool though. It's got the atmosphere of a Temple Run game and the controls of a Subway Surfers game. The world is so awesome. The environment feels so creepy thanks to these random creatures you see run by now and again. Well, apparently those are lizard men. And suddenly the game turns into an on-rail shooter where you have health and ammo and everything. This game is nuts! I find myself preferring these level-based ones over the endless games mostly because there's a good incentive to keep playing. And I'm really having a great time with this one. I fully expected a Lara Croft mobile game to be middle of the road, but I played this one for way longer than any other. You can kick skulls around on the floor. When you die, she ragdolls and it's hilarious. You don't have to watch a single ad if you don't want to, and I've been playing this for over an hour and I'm still seeing new obstacles. I gotta give it S tier then. Last year I ranked every Cut the Rope game, including the 3D Endless Runner, Nom Run. I mentioned at the time just how strange of a choice it was to make Cut the Rope in this style. Nom can't freaking move at first, and now all of a sudden he's running and jumping through the streets? Don't even get me started on the weird little dance he does. I've now stated I think I prefer level-based games in this genre, but the other stipulation is they have to actually be fun. The main game is seriously so lifeless and devoid of any personality the mainline series is known for. There is a Fall Guys style mode that puts you up against 100 Noms, but they aren't real players and it gets old pretty quick. The character creator is the real highlight. Check out my newest OC, Eddie Rapp. Anyways, there is sadly enough content here that I'd have to put it higher than the majority of our list. B tier. Sonic is a franchise that actually makes sense for this genre. There are a lot of sections in Sonic games that are this exact gameplay style. It's what you expect to the T, spin dashing through robots, collecting classic Sonic characters, and running around at the speed of sound. Well, this game is actually pretty damn slow, but you know what I mean. I obviously had to sign up for the newsletter so I could play as Rouge the Bat. I don't know why I'd want to unlock anybody else, honestly. I'm set for life! I played a premium version of this game on Apple Arcade, and that version is weirdly worse than the free one. Genuinely, this game is just better and more fun with more to do than the premium. It makes no sense. But yeah, not bad I suppose. I wonder how it compares to the 4 or so other versions of the exact same game they have in the App Store. Whatever, I'd put it in B tier too. I don't know why the Perry the Platypus game has always stuck in my head. It's not that memorable of a game. Maybe I just remember it for the insane name DoofenDash. I had it on my Kindle too, so that's how I was able to play it today. The game looks pretty empty right from the get-go, but give it some time. I apologize for the low quality video here, let's make it quick. The fights against Doofenshmirtz are definitely the highlight, and each time he attacks you with a different innator. They all work pretty similarly, but there is some variety here. You can also break into Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated for some segments and paraglide through the city when you escape. Otherwise, it's sort of a pointless game. Those 3 parts are fun, but you basically repeat them again and again and again in every run. It's very lacking in that regard, but can be fun for your first run I suppose. Sounds like a C tier. While making my Temple Run video, I discovered there was a game for none other than Forrest Gump, aptly titled Run Forrest Run, because of course there is. The way it starts is honestly pretty cool, with the white background bench scene that transitions to the gameplay. Other than that though, it is no different from any other game on our list, sadly. You sort of run across the US with multiple environment types, which was once exciting, but almost every game has done that at this point. I was really hoping this game could offer something cool, and honestly, I don't really know why I would. I don't even think there's unlockable characters in this thing. Who are you gonna play as? Bubba's mother? Fat Boy? Topless Girl? Actually, yeah, I'd play that. If this list has taught me anything, that's not what this genre of games is all about. I say we give our favorite tier one last entry. Join the C tiers, Mr. Gump. Of course, this whole list I've been holding back from the ultimate experience. Subway Surfers ran so Flying Gorilla could fly. This game took the internet by storm with its sensational marketing tactics. Just watch this masterclass of a trailer.
Hey guys, it's me, Flying Gorilla, from my new app on the App Store, Flying Gorilla. It's a free download, so I hope you check it out, and I hope...
It really truly does not get better than this. Loading into the game for the first time is so surreal. Feeling the water spray along your fingertips, the wind blowing in your gorilla mane, and with one wrong move you can lose it all. I for real teared up in this moment. You can spend all your gems hatching a golden egg, except it's made of gold so you can't break it. You can visit exciting new areas with fan favorite characters such as Minecraft Chicken or 3D Pig. You can go apeshit after collecting enough bananas for the ultimate thrill. You can gamble your life savings in Flying Gorilla. What the hell are you waiting for? Okay, all joking aside, this game is genuinely pretty fun. You just slide your finger back and forth to dodge obstacles that are super tightly packed, and the game gets fast crazy quickly. As a joke, I was already gonna put this in S, but I actually enjoyed playing it, dude. I can't believe some guy put no effort into this Flying Gorilla game, and it turned out 10 times more fun, interesting, and exciting than 90% of the brands on this stupid list. Get mogged on, Garfield! Flying Gorilla deserves the S tier. I definitely didn't expect these results for a list today. Going in, I had judged every book by its cover, and was instantly ready to dash out D's and C's to games like Jumanji Awesome Sauce Run, Lara Croft Relic Run, and Subway Princess Runner for sure. My assumptions were completely flipped, and the ones that sounded bad on paper were actually decent. Well, not all of them. I'm looking at you, Gummy Bear. I had you pegged from the start. But other than those few exceptions, most of the games in this genre are all completely interchangeable. I could have put the majority of these games in C tier, truthfully. And I did! Most in B and D were only slightly better or worse respectively. That's why I truly don't understand why this became a genre. I know people play these games, I myself had a bunch of these still on my old Kindle Fire. But aside from a few diamonds in the rough, I'm pretty glad this game style is mostly dead now. Oh, and also Subway Surfers is not a franchise, and they should probably stop making pointless spin-offs that no one has ever heard of and will never play. Sheesh. Let me know what you thought of this video style. I've definitely mentioned making similar videos like every Match 3 game or every Merge Mansion game, but there are a ton more that could work. Rip-offs of Angry Birds, Crossy Road, Pokemon Go. I'll definitely try a couple of these out at some point, so let me know which ones you want to see. Out of my members, who do you think could run endlessly? Are any of these people in shape? Of course they are! They're gods compared to the human race! I mean, yeah, probably, sure. If you're sick of being subhuman and want to run Forrest Run, then please consider becoming a member of the channel today. Thank you Leland, Patrick Bayerjon, Bright Streak, MD Switchy, Dojo Master, Lavatane, Jasper TV, Keep, Omegon, Gall Guy, Jep the Legend, Cheaper Ying, Gotham, Marie, Callum Ford, OK, Cyro is Taken, Pika Girl for You, Christoph Creations, Cameron, Perskule Banner, Bo Vanderland, Mora, Checky, Greenman, yeah, Mr. Odell, Stuff Happens Sometimes, Peacock, Eric GD, Miku, Tibor Kurganov, welcome back Eduardo Santiago, and thank you once again to Tarky Rocky for being a 3-time member. And Freakish Smile and Aaron the Ghoul, you are also the best. Sorry I didn't go through the history of Subway Surfers like I typically would for these types of videos. Here's a little bonus at the end for you. Did you know there was an urban legend when this game came out that the creator made Subway Surfers in memory of his son who died while skating on railroad tracks? That's crazy, but it does sound familiar to me. I probably saw it on Facebook as a kid and just assumed it was true. Let me know if you ever heard that story and if you thought it was true until this very moment. You're welcome! You just slide your finger back and forth to dodge obstacles that are super tightly. You just slide your finger back and forth to dodge obstacles that are super tight. You just slide your finger back and forth to dodge obstacles that are super tight. Are any of these people in shape? Of course they are. They're gods compared to the human race. I mean, yeah, probably.